This episode of the Boss Rush Podcast is brought to you by, well, you. If you want to learn how to support the Boss Rush family of podcasts, head to bossrush.net or our Patreon at patreon.com/bossrushmedia. Thanks for helping us build something better.
Yeah, that was a great one last night. Oh my god, I'm so happy I was part of that.
That makes me happy to hear how well it went.
Oh my gosh, he wants our email.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Did you do that?
I'm going through his PR person.
Okay.
Oh yes, I am doing that, and yes, I have both of your addresses saved. Pat, I'll get your information so you can get something too.
Okay.
So yeah, it was awesome, man.
It's nice
his stories.
to hear when people like that are willing to engage. You know, some people might be like, "Oh, I'm a little better than you," you know.
Well, yeah, he was second in command to Todd Howard. What do you expect? I thought he was going to be some I
thought he was going to be like too cool for the fucking room or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. This guy was down to earth, and he was really gracious that we actually gave him like an actual platform.
Yeah, and he said he wants to come back throughout development.
Awesome.
Yeah,
I'm so happy to hear that.
I mean, between them and Way Forward, and working with Jenny and Kepler, and then Yacht Club, it's been a good year for us.
Those are great connections to establish.
Mm-hmm.
And hopefully this Microsoft stuff pans out. I have a list of people I would really like to interview, but
if not, there's going to be a whole bunch of new indie games being announced. I was watching the Guerrilla Collective, and there's stuff coming.
Was that any good? Was any good? I mean, indies.
Boring.
I was about to say indies don't get me all hot and bothered.
There were some good ones out there, but for the most part, deck builder.
Actually, we should talk about that. Actually, if we had time.
On the doc. If you're reading the doc, LeRon, it's on there.
Boom. Oh well,
I even put a link.
Okay.
All right, I'm starting. It's been a long day. Oh my god. All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Boss Rush Podcast, a great place to play games and be better. I'm one of your hosts, Corey Derrick, and alongside me, as always, is the PC Muscle Race himself, LeRon Dawkins.
Hey, what's poppin'?
LeRon, how are you feeling after last night?
I'm feeling great after last night, but after what you just did to me right before we rolled the recording, I want to go home.
I know you are home. I had to build you up. I had to build you up and then tear you down. Like a terrible partner.
You did not have to do me like that,
man. Also joining us, as always, is the mad pharmacist herself, Stephanie Klimov.
Hey, I'm having some serious FOMO.
Hey, that's on you, ma'am. That is on you. I'm just teasing.
Here's the thing. Okay, before we get to the next person here. Okay, Stephanie was with me and Ed to do Way Forward the night before. So,
yes. So share.
Yeah. Anyways, the fourth chair here.
Love you, Stephanie.
Jeez. The fourth chair here is none other than PK Power himself, Pat Klein.
So, for those of us in the age 40 club and over, what is FOMO?
Come on, you don't know this? Come on. I just turned 48 and I know it's fear of missing out.
Oh, okay. Got it. I've been hearing FOMO so much within the past week that I just never looked it up, but
It's all right. I've had to look up so many things. I had to look up IRL. What was the other one I had to look up?
You did not.
Dude, I had to look up what the hell yeet was. These Gen Zers are like, oh, we're yeeting this. I'm like, what the hell?
That's an easy one.
No, but come on. It's not even a shortcut. So stupid.
Do people still say off the chain?
No. Sorry, Pat. We do, but no. But we're also
.com.
We're also old white men who are aging into the dad jokes. So, Anyways, so Pat's here. We don't have a developer guest this week or a creator guest. So before we get into
Pat basically wrestled all of them in one, so he earned this spot here tonight.
It's true.
I'm developing my own story. Dang it!
He cheated. He cheated though. I saw him tickle at least 7 different contestants.
It's true.
Wow. Oh man, tickling. Okay. So if you don't care about this next part, we're gonna kind of talk about something that's going on real quick. You can skip ahead like 10 minutes, but so basically, our goal this year was to have more developer guests and creator guests on the podcast to kind of hang out with us and talk games, but it was really brought to our attention that they felt more along the lines of interviews, like long form interviews instead of the podcast being a podcast, right? And so what we're doing, and you might have noticed, is Stephanie disappeared. What you might have noticed is that we've been doing spotlight episodes of creators and developers along with our shorter form 1v1 interviews. And so we're kind of transitioning any of our developer guests to that style of show, the developer spotlight. So we have a few coming up. We have one with Black Tabby Games that Stephanie did. We have one coming up with Way Forward that Stephanie, Ed, and I did. And then we have one with Jeff Gardner from previously of Bethesda, now of Something Wicked Games. And so we're kind of moving the developers into that direction. And we are aiming to do more of those because, developers are cool to work with. And Pat's going to join us as our fourth chair to have a more kind of standard podcast, if you will. Because I think I told you guys this when Sebastian was on, or somebody was on. I was like, I really missed our podcast because we haven't done it in so long in the way we used to. So, but there's that aspect. Also, we're gonna, so we can be more up to date on topics, talk about more relevant topics. We're gonna release the episodes on Patreon on Friday, and then Monday for everybody else. That way we can kind of have a more relevant conversation about things that are going on. Because, if we talk about the Xbox showcase next week, right, nobody's going to want to hear about it in 2 weeks, right? Because something else will happen. So that's kind of the idea behind that. So Pat, welcome to the fourth chair. Sorry it's broken. The arm is missing and one of the wheels fell off, but that's okay.
It's okay. I'm the one that broke the wheel.
Well, it's fair.
Yeah. But
Paxel
thank you.
Paxel stole the arm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Paxel.
Good old Paxel.
But I mean, what do you guys think of that decision? You think that, we kind of talked a little bit about it before the show. I just want to get your guys' kind of take on that.
Hey, don't look at me, man. I just work here.
Let's go.
Okay. Well,
exciting.
Great. Everybody's on board. All right.
Now this is the format. We're sticking to it, so get used to it. There we go.
Yeah. Also, having Pat here gives us all flexibility to do more, right? Like if LeRon or Stephanie need a night off, right, because they did an interview or they're doing a couple podcasts in a week and don't feel like they can do a third one, we'll still have like a full panel going on, right? And that's kind of where we're at. in
So
July.
between you and me, Stephanie, who's going to be the first one to be like, I can't take it no more?
Ooh, I don't know. It's a neck and neck.
Thanks, guys.
Corey, you always say you can't take it anymore, but then you still take it. So I don't understand.
He follows it up with, "It's fine."
I like the abuse.
Yeah, exactly.
It makes me feel good inside. Anyways, yeah, and then we're kind of changing some things on Patreon. Those haven't gone into effect yet for June, but Stephanie and I have kind of been working on some of that stuff, and we'll get to that. We'll address that when it gets closer to being finished. But yeah, very excited for that. Very excited for the more showcase or more spot. I keep saying showcase spotlights and 1v1 interviews and our Boss Rush extra content. I'm very excited for. So stay tuned. If you want to be a Patreon producer, head on over to patreon.com/BossRushMedia and find out which tier is right for you. Our Patreon producers at the $5 tier or higher for this month are Adriel Munger, Austin Campbell, Celeste Roberts, Christian S., Sana Dierig, Francisco Santillan, and Rebecca Jewell. Thank you for your continued support. We're done with that. We're gonna hop into what we've been playing. Pat, you're new here.
Yes, I am.
What are you playing? What are you doing?
Well, I have a couple games under my belt here. One of the first ones I played last week was a game called Decarnation for the Nintendo Switch. It marketed itself as a horror, like a horror 16-bit RPG. And it really wasn't much of a horror game, but it was a very disturbing game. You play as this woman who is just about ready to turn she's about ready to turn 30, and she is a cabaret dancer, so her looks and that's everything to her. And so, she's kind of getting to this age where she's going to start not being wanted anymore. So she puts up this gig to pose for a statue. And when she goes to the unveiling, something disturbing happens around the statue, which starts leading down this chain of it's actually not de-escalation, but escalation of disturbing events that eventually gets her kidnapped and thrown into a locked basement for several months. And so you're watching the mental state of this woman just, start to crumble from panic almost down to a Stockholm syndrome, where, she starts relying on her kidnapper and starts just devolving into oh, this is fine, I could live my life like this. And it's just it's very disturbing, just with the content that the game goes into. It's definitely, the story was definitely worth the playthrough. My issue though was the game was buggy as all hell, which is sad. I'm starting to get to a point where I'm appreciating games that are actually finished, a lot. But this game, the last hour of the game, I've lost all my music to any background music that game was supposed to have wasn't there. So it's just, I don't know, it just completely killed immersion, and it was sad because I was actually enjoying it until these bugs just started popping up. But yep, that was that game.
It's a great concept, though. I mean, not great in a positive way. Great meaning a unique and interesting, intriguing.
Yeah, no, I mean, it made me think quite a bit. I've never really experienced anything other this kind of a story, and I don't know how I would have experienced it otherwise if it wasn't for this video game, because this is something that you can tell someone tell you a story about kidnapping and being a victim, but you actually get to be the victim in this game, and dive into her mental state while she's the victim. So it was definitely different. All right, so the second game I played was Planet of Lana. It is a game that plays exactly like Limbo or Inside, that 2D. I guess it's like a walking navigation platform, but with like horror elements. Only this one's colorful, not like black
Is,
and white like Limbo or Inside.
is it still scary?
Uh, it's not really scary. I mean, it has moments where you have creatures chase you or robots also try to chase you. You play as this girl named Lana, and how you know her name's Lana is that she points to herself and she's like, Lana.
Hmm.
And she's looking, she and her sister go out of her little fishing village, and all of a sudden, these alien robots just like start invading the planet and start kidnapping Lana's sister and all the other villagers. And so
Hmm.
Lana is running to try and catch up and, save her sister. And on the way, she runs into this little teeny cat creature named Mooey, and she
Mooey.
rescues it.
I love that
And
name.
Mooey is freaking adorable and like is best companion, which you can also pet. There is a
Yes.
designated pet the Mooey button.
Yeah,
Nice.
Zelda. Can't pet the
Yeah, it's Zelda.
dogs.
And so
Can't have a wolf companion either.
no.
Jerks.
So you have to use Mooey to like help solve puzzles. There are things that Mooey can do that you can't, such as Mooey can jump a hell of a lot higher than you can. And you don't control Mooey, but you can give Mooey commands like point in a direction and tell Mooey to go there or to sit or to come back to you.
Yeah.
So Mooey can jump. Mooey has an ability to like mind control creatures, but Mooey will not go near water.
Fair.
Yeah, so if there's
Fair.
water, you have to figure out a way to get Mooey across.
Hmm.
So you use this relationship between you and Mooey to solve these puzzles and eventually get to the climax of the game. And the climax of the game was it was powerful. It touched my
Aw.
heart. It was a good game. I really really liked Planet of Lana. It's
How
not too
are
long. Hmm?
Oh, I was going to ask how the achievements were in that game.
For the most part, it's there's chapter based achievements and then there's find the shrine achievements. The one achievement that's probably gonna be impossible to get is beat the whole game without dying once.
Oh.
Yeah, because there are some of those parts where you have to be very precise or else you will get caught and die, which
Oh.
is like an electric zap.
Hmm.
Also, if Mooey gets caught, that also signifies a death.
Aw.
What?
Yeah,
That's
they can go after Mooey too.
No,
don't like that.
No,
No.
no. I was very upset this one time where I left Mooey at this one spot, and all of a sudden this like creature all of a sudden envelops Mooey, and it's like no. That was the first time I accidentally killed Mooey.
Hmm.
Oh, poor
Yeah.
Rip
baby.
Mooey.
Rip Mooey. But
PETA's
I
gonna
highly
come after
recommend it.
you.
It is on Game Pass, so check it out. And
Yeah.
then finally, I have played Diablo 4, like almost every other person in the entire world. Just not early.
Do you like Diablo 4? Are you enjoying yourself?
You know what? There is Diablo 4. There is a lot to do in Diablo 4. Like I am very shocked at how big this game is. But I'm enjoying it. It's fun having a whole bunch of enemies swarm you and then you just smack them around and watch them like turn into bloody visceral. So I'm currently playing as a druid, and I
Okay.
made him kind of look like Thor from God of War, like the big fat redhead, long beard. It's a good style. And his like I did the name generator, and I landed on Brahmin, which I thought was fitting.
Hmm. Nice.
Cow.
Mhm.
Nice.
So, yeah. But yeah, it's the game's interesting. I really want to know more about the Diablo lore because the only Diablo game I've really played was Diablo 1 back when it first
Okay.
came out. And I played that religiously with my brother and his friends. Like we all PvP'd, and they did the little glitch codes where you can get like the best armor and duplicate it. But yeah, it's I want to know more about this world because I feel like the lore in this game is just it's good. Like there's something like interesting and unique about it with these greater evils like kind of always invading the world and it being like a battleground between angels and demons, and
Mm.
it's it's fun. I like it. I recommend it. Even
Nice.
if you haven't played any of the other Diablos, like it's a game that I feel that people need to at least experience.
Okay. Yeah.
Interesting.
Are the I feel really ignorant asking this, but I haven't played any of the Diablos. Like, are there direct references to the first three, or are they
Yeah,
kind of
it
independent?
like the storyline is a continuation. Like I guess this one takes place 50 years after the events of Diablo 3 Reaper of Souls.
Okay.
So, I mean, I feel like you don't necessarily need to understand what happened in the prior games to enjoy this. You just know that evil is like cooking up a plan to do whatever evil does.
Yeah. And the villain Lilith is from Diablo 2. So,
Oh,
right.
Right.
okay.
Yeah.
Like I think she was mentioned in Diablo 2. I think she officially gets revived in the end of Diablo 3 Reaper of Souls, and now this is her game where she is kind of getting mankind onto her side by teaching them to relish their sins.
Hmm. Hmm. Nice.
She's a very
Nice.
charismatic character. She's her cutscenes are enjoyable to watch.
I
Nice.
think charisma is definitely a key characteristic if you want to be a good villain.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's probably fair to say. Uh I played some Diablo. I never really got into it. I've played a little bit of all of them. I think the most I played was Diablo 3 when it came out to PS4 and Destiny was having like a downer. I don't know. I don't even remember what 2014, 15ish. Uh when they first started introducing seasons. So my friend was like, "Hey, you should play Diablo with me." I'm like, "Fine, I'll play it." And I played it for like a week, and I was like, "Nah, it's fine." Uh,
Mhm.
but it seems like everybody's really enjoying Diablo 4. So
I mean, one of the cool things is it's not really the same game for everyone. Like the bad guys, the loot, it's all randomly generated.
yeah,
They just kind of scale with your level, and it's like a new dungeon every time you go in.
yeah. I'm also a fan of Rod Ferguson, who's the lead. He's called the Diablo franchise lead, but he's kind of like he's always been called the fixer, right? Where he went in and kind of saved BioShock Infinite and got Gears of War 3 on track and got Judgment to release, and then he came back to the Coalition and ran that studio for a while, and now he's at Blizzard, obviously, right? So, uh, yeah, good on him, man. Like that game was like that game was in the crapper for a while, and
Yeah.
you know, so
Blizzard Activision needed a win, and I feel like this is definitely a win for them.
Hmm,
yeah,
good.
especially on the heels of the Overwatch debacle.
Hmm.
So
And the World of Warcraft debacle, and the World of Warcraft 3 debacle.
and the whole alleged misconduct stuff. Don't forget that.
Mm,
29 reported and
Yeah,
investigated.
man. Remember when everybody was gonna boycott Diablo 2, and then they were like, "Never
yeah.
mind, it's a good game."
Hmm.
It sold like 15 million copies. Like, okay, great boycott, guys. Stephanie, what are you playing?
So I was gonna play more things, but then I got sidetracked again by Zelda because when I thought I was done with the mainline stuff next to beating Ganondorf, and then I talked to Pat, and Pat's like, "No, did you do this mission yet? No." It's like, "You got it. Damn it!" So I did the Rings of Ruin quest line, and
Hmm.
yeah, Yeah, I missed a whole nother section.
Yep.
So I went through that. We'll save that for our book club discussion. So it's been a lot of fun. So now I'm literally in that spot in a game where I've done all the mandatory, not mandatory because it's an open world game, but if you want to follow the story, the quote unquote mandatory main quest things prior to defeating Ganondorf, and this is where I will kind of like stop and then do everything else. So now my urgency to keep playing is kind of died down a little bit. So still mostly Tears of the Kingdom. I still suck at making crafts. Like every time I try to create a flying bird, I don't know, I must not get the balance of the fans right because I'll immediately nosedive off the cliff. Just
You don't put the steering like right on the front, right? You kind of stick it in the middle.
I do. And I put like a
Okay.
fan in the front, a fan in the back, and fans in the back. And
I
then
take the fan off the front and just stick to like the back. Either
yeah,
put it on the tips of the wings or like, kind
tips
of
of the
in between the
wings.
wings and like the middle. Or if you do 3 tips and the middle. But don't put anything in the front.
Okay. Yeah, I suck. But so yeah, there's that. And I just tonight, just so I can like say that I started something, Alan Wake Remastered I started tonight
Woo!
because I need to get ahead on some games that I'm anticipating the sequels to. Like I want to be done with Alan Wake before Alan Wake 2 comes out. And it's kind of funny because this is a remaster, not a remake. So it's just the same game but probably touched up. So I was playing this game. I'm only like through the very like training part of it or whatever. And I'm like, man, this don't look scary at all. Now, granted, it is just the beginning of the game, but it's just like because the way the graphics are, I had to look up when this game first came out. It was in 2010. So, like, when the shadowy, homeless axe guy tries to kill you in the tutorial section, I'm just like running around. And I'm like, you can't catch me. Like, I don't know. I just like, I'm having a hard time taking it seriously right now. Not that that's a critique. It's just like, yeah, sure, whatever. And it's just like, I forget how games were in 2010 and how far we've come. I guess I'll just say it like that. Like there are
Look
literally
at
chests where there's infinite like pistol ammo. I'm confused.
Man, look at Steph. She plays Resident Evil 4 and all of a sudden she's a survival horror master.
I know.
Nothing freaks her out.
Oh
I
well,
know
I
what's
mean,
going on here.
I'm sure it'll get spookier because I thought Alan Wake was more like a thriller, but apparently it's an actual horror game. So I'm.
Where are you at in the game?
Oh, I just got through like the tutorial, like where he has that dream and you walk through the dream, and now you're about to enter the town with your wife or whatever. So I've
Oh,
just
you
started.
okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll get much scarier, but I think the fact that it's still got the 2010s type, I don't know, gameplay and graphics, so to speak, maybe it takes a little bit of the edge off versus like playing RE2 Remake where holy shit, some of the stuff gets like, I feel like it's really there. I don't know, but
I say once you get a little further into the game, you'll start feeling more of the effects of like the howling wind and the shadow creatures that you're almost wanting to run to light. And
okay.
it's light's just not going to be around.
Okay. I'm sure it will be. Yeah. I'm sure next week I'll be wearing a diaper or something because it's just so scary. But
It's
last
a
but
great
not
game though. Great
good,
game. You'll love the story.
good. Thank you. Good. So last but not least, it's not like a super big show and tell, but I guess it's Pro Week at GameStop, and I went to GameStop to pick up a gift for a kid, and I ended up walking out with games for myself, of course. So it was buy one get one free. So I got Live Alive and Forspoken. I finally got Forspoken because it's buy one get one free, so I got Forspoken for free. So
Yeah, I'm glad that was the free game.
yeah, well
I've heard
that's
they
why.
patched it up a little, so it's running better from what I understand.
Yeah,
And I hear the
Forspoken.
DLC for it is pretty good.
Yeah, Forspoken is one of those games where like I do want to eventually play it. I just didn't want to pay full price for it. So this type of a sale was perfect because Live Alive is a game that I definitely wanted to play, and I just, I didn't feel the urge to buy it day one, and since this was on sale, perfect.
Nice.
Yeah.
LeRon, what are you up to? What are you doing? Monster hunting?
Yeah, I'm not sure if I told you guys this because I did get back on Monster Hunter. Today Capcom had the final developer showcase for Monster Hunter. So the new content, the new monster drops. The final monster for the game drops tomorrow.
Ooh.
And that's it for Rise and Sunbreak. I mean, there will be some DLC content, but that's just planned event quests that would already coming out and stuff like that. But I don't think I told you guys this. So you guys know my real life job is I'm an IT guy, and I do all sorts of stuff from
What?
build computers to fix computers to solve networking issues to things of that nature, data security, and all that stuff. Well, basically, I had a client that after hearing how much it was going to cost to repair a laptop, trust me, it was not that much money. But anyway, when I gave them the quote and everything, they're like, okay, you know what? I'm just going to go get a new laptop, and like I don't know, maybe I'm just poor or something because like I'm one of those people where it's like, why would you throw away a perfectly good laptop just because you don't want to pay for the repairs when you're going to go out and buy a brand new one? So
I do feel like we live
That's
in
the
a
Apple
culture.
mentality.
it's a throwaway culture,
Yep.
consumerism. Yeah. Yeah, that's what it is. And I'm not sure if it's, just that you have money. I don't know. Because even if I had money, I guess I have like the wherewithal to say, let's fix this shit first before I finally say, would you just, well, actually, I was about to say, would you just throw away a car if you didn't want to pay for the repairs? And some people do. So
Well, yeah,
whatever.
it's that throwaway mentality not just has to do with whether or not you have enough money. I think it's also the concept, whether they weren't raised with it or not, of the concept of waste. Because it's not just
Yeah.
I have money, but it's also like I don't know, like I'm now starting to really pay attention of wait, electronic waste, that's a thing. But
Right.
throwaway culture is they don't really take into consideration the waste that's left, the consequence that's left behind if you just toss away something that could be fixed within
Yeah.
reason.
Yeah. Yeah. Essentially. So yeah, they, like they didn't want the laptop and everything, right? And so and then so I was like, okay, well, if you want, um, I was like, we can do a data recovery for it, which that's also a charge, and then like you have your data back. And they're like, oh, like, no, we haven't had it long. I was like, how long have you had it? Like 2 months? Like you didn't use it that much, whatever, So ultimately I was like, okay, well, here you go. Here's the laptop back, and everything. Right. And they're like, no, just handle it. Whatever you're going to do with it, just take care of it. So basically they were like, get rid of the fucking thing. Right. So it sat around my place for months, because I work from home. It sat around my place for months, and then right when I was getting ready to go home to visit my mom for Mother's Day, I was like, you know what? I need something different than just a laptop, my Microsoft Surface, tablet, which is, like it's a good tablet, but it's just slow for my standards and stuff like that. So I started messing around with that laptop, and I actually fixed the laptop.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, I did what would have been done with it. I actually fixed the laptop and everything. So I just went ahead, wiped it, reinstalled Windows, all that stuff, set it up, and everything. And then last week, I'm last week. This is where I was going with the story. Last week, I was telling somebody, I was like, you know what, the only reason why I have not gotten a gaming laptop is because I have not gotten my own laptop is because I need my laptop to be a portable version of my desktop, and my desktop is a gaming system. So every gaming laptop I'm looking at is going to cost me at least $2,400 at least, and and I know for a fact I didn't sink that much money into my computer when I built it, stuff like that. So he was like, well, well, that laptop that you bragged that you refurbed, what games are you playing? I was like, I was thinking about it. I'm like, I wasn't going to play any hardcore games. I just want to see if I can play Monster Hunter on it. And he's like, well, load Monster Hunter and see what happens. Y'all. So I loaded Monster Hunter on his laptop, right? My only gripe is that it does not display higher than 60 frames per second, and that's only because of the limitations of the screen. So I can now play Monster Hunter Rise whenever I am not home for days at a time because I don't have a Steam Deck.
That's awesome, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Yeah, hooked up the PS5 controller to it and everything. Yeah, runs fine. Of course, there's no ray tracing and all that stuff, but whatever. Like
Hey
it
man,
plays,
one man's trash.
fine. It plays fine.
That's
So
wow.
yeah, yeah. So I think I'm gonna load. I think I'm gonna load Hades and Dead Cells on it too.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, but anyway, Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak. That's what I got back into that. I'm woefully behind on some stuff. Like I still have not beaten the final Elder. Well, now there's another Elder Dragon that they're adding to it, but I haven't beaten the last Elder Dragon, which was a carryover from old Monster Hunter game.
Mm-hmm.
Beyond that, and then of course Advance Wars 1 and 2 Reboot Camp. I kind of slowed down on it, and that's kind of my fault, because like just things been going on, and I just don't feel like I just don't with all the Mario games that are dropped on this last week and stuff like that. It was a distraction for me playing Advance Wars, which yay Super Mario 2 Advance, yay.
Nice.
I love it. Yeah, that's it. I put Street Fighter Duel on the docket as well, but I mean, like you play one free to play / pay to win game, you played them all.
Mm-hmm.
It's true. It's fair. Well, I guess it's my turn. I mean, I don't have any updates really for anything that anybody cares about. I've been playing Zelda. I've been playing Destiny, and Disney Dreamlight Valley got an update. So
Holy Trinity.
Let's move on.
I mean, the story in Destiny is getting pretty good. It's getting pretty good. Xivu Arath, the Hive God of War, is making her presence known more than usual, and it's kind of cool because the voice actress they got to play her is scary. Oh my gosh, it's like it's
Wait, it's not Halsey? I thought.
Let's see
Is it?
who.
Wait, no, I'm sorry. I'm thinking Diablo. My bad. I'm sorry. I'm thinking
I was
Diablo.
gonna say,
My bad.
okay.
Yeah.
Whoops.
Xivu Arath actress. Let's see. Her name is Kimberly Brooks, and she is terrifying as Xivu Arath. So
Kimberly Brooks. That name sounds familiar.
Kimberly Brooks.
she's terrifying. So
KIMBERLY Brooks. Or must be LEY Brooks.
Yeah, she looks like she can have a terrifying voice.
yeah. So that's kind of it though. Season of the Deep, there's some cool new things. They added fishing to Destiny, so Destiny's officially a JRPG now.
Oh, it's complete. You can't be complete
Yep.
without fishing, dude.
Yeah. So there's that. No other updates though. To that, and just playing the same old games.
Oh wow, she's Ashley Williams from Mass Effect. I knew the name sounded familiar. Ashley, check everybody killed every time they played Mass Effect.
I didn't kill her. I kept her around.
Yeah, she became a.
Wait. Yeah, wait. You forsook Caden?
Yeah,
Yes.
Caden sucks. Yeah.
What?
We are straight men and wanted to fuck a woman, okay?
No, sir. No, I'm sorry. One of the biggest xenophobic, racist characters I've ever seen in a video game, and you kept her alive?
Did you finish her character arc? No, because you killed her.
I've seen her character arc. It didn't get much better.
Oh, she didn't redeem herself?
She
kind of redeemed herself
in the third game. She was not happy.
Yeah.
She was the voice of Batgirl in Justice Gods Among Us. Okay, I like this. Daisy Fitzroy in BioShock Infinite. All right.
It's fine.
Yo.
It's fine.
Oh, hey.
So let's move into topics here.
Yeah.
There's a lot of. All right, I have to before we get into the big thing. This won't take very long. This Apple headset, right? Did you guys see that Apple headset, the VR spatial computer that the
$3,500 thing?
Yeah, that's woo.
Oh my gosh! It's
not bad.
It's kind of crazy. It's it's a cool piece of technology, but not for $3,500.
No way.
Oh, well, the major problem with this thing is like it's in the iOS ecosystem. That is the major problem. You've already just cornered yourself in one place.
Yep.
Well, that's where
All the huh?
well, that's where I'm at. So, anyways,
Do you play games on iOS?
I don't play PC games at all. But we can get into that, LeRon, since
iOS.
they are making that they have their own version of Proton coming out with iOS 17, where you can play Windows games on Mac. So I will be able to. I'm getting Destiny and Roller Coaster Tycoon ready, LeRon.
Here's
Maybe
the
The
question.
Sims.
Here's the question. Will you play it?
Yeah, I'll play Roller Coaster Tycoon all the time. Love Roller Coaster Tycoon.
Hmm.
And I already own it on.
Corey's gonna be puking in his living room.
It's one of the five. It's one of the 5 games I own on Steam. So,
Okay.
but I'll be playing that on my desktop, not on a $3,500
Axel.
headset, though. So, it's fine. I don't know. I think the tech is cool. I just, man, the first iteration of Apple products is always something you don't want to touch, and then the fact that it's $3,500, which tells me that they're aiming for enterprise and medical, and not the consumer.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if this thing was like 1,000 or 1,500, I could see, right? But man, $3,500 is ridiculous.
That is definitely an Apple markup.
Axel.
It always is, right?
And the battery life's only 2 hours right now.
Oh, I didn't see that part.
And they sell an extra battery pack that you can plug into it to give it an extra 2 hours. So the max time you can get out of it is 4 hours unless you have it plugged into the wall. So
sounds great.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, it's a cool piece of technology, but like, man,
it'll get better over time.
Get it 2 or 3 iterations and a price drop, and
I don't know if it'll price drop. They will just discontinue it and make another one before they price drop it.
I think it'll get a price drop. Everything else from Apple has gotten a price drop at some point. So I don't know. We'll see. But I'm more excited about their Proton competitor equivalent, I guess. Not really a competitor. Because and that might give me more of a reason to get a Steam Deck at some point too. Because I can just play Steam games on Mac and then, won't have to worry about all the, I got to boot it into Boot Camp and then I got to load up Windows and then I got to plug in another mouse because my mouse isn't compatible with Windows and, all these things. So that'd be cool. But since I'm the only Mac person here, I guess we can talk about the showcases that are coming up.
I have a Mac. I mean, it's just a laptop, but
did you watch WWDC? Because I watched most of it. I watched most of it until they started getting into iOS. Was it 17 now? And then I was just I was like, I'm out.
They trotted Kojima out.
They did?
Yeah. Death Stranding director's cuts coming to Mac.
Oh.
Yeah. And all of Kojima's future games are also coming to Mac, they say. There's a big article on The Verge that says Apple might actually be taking gaming seriously this time.
This time. Sorry.
Yeah. And like I would have normally blown it off.
Because they're not using DirectX.
I'm not, hold on. I don't know. I put the link in the show notes, but I would have normally blown this off, but Tom Warren wrote it, so I, and I kind of respect his things. So let's see. I'm not 100% sure. Direct 3D, it says.
Direct 3D?
Yeah.
Okay.
And they're showing, hold on. Apple's game porting toolkit lets developers instantly run DirectX 12 Windows games on Mac OS.
Oh, snap. Okay, so that's cool to know.
Yeah, and they showed Cyberpunk 2077 running on an M1 MacBook.
Wow.
The low-powered M1, not the Pro or the Ultra, just the low-end one, and it's running at Yeah, it's running at like 30 frames a second with no ray tracing.
That's a
but
very bad
that's
30 frames per second. I'm looking at the video right now. Like that's really choppy.
well, this is. I mean, this isn't the real video. This is the Reddit video. But they showed off some other things, and it was kind of, I would say, kind of impressive. But also, the only games that they showed were Death Stranding, Cyberpunk 2077, and Hogwarts Legacy at some point. And the Hogwarts Legacy was running on an M2 Max, so that's going to cost you like, $3,500 also if you want that. So, if you want it in a laptop, and the desktop will cost you like $2,000. But
I'm good with my consoles. Thank you.
yeah. I mean, look, I don't really think I'm going to be any more of a quote unquote PC gamer because I have a Mac because of this, but I think it's cool, and I will play Roller Coaster Tycoon, and I will maybe attempt to play Destiny because I could probably run it at 120 frames a second on this thing. So, anyways, that's cool that the toolkit will be able to let you run DirectX 12. All right, well, showcases are coming up. Everybody's excited.
Showcase season.
We've got
Yay.
Day of the Devs, Devolver's annual gaming extravaganza, Tribeca Games Spotlight, the Wholesome Games Direct, the OTK Games Expo, Summer Showcase for Xbox, PC Gaming Show, Summer Game Fest.
Don't
Listen,
forget,
there's a lot.
Also Ubisoft, Capcom says they're
Capcom.
doing one.
I think
Yeah.
Devolver.
The Devolver's
Yes.
got one. The studio that did Yakuza's getting one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll tell you though, out of all of them, it's got to be Day of the Devs. I'm looking forward to. You know why? Because last year's Day of the Devs is where I learned about Choo Choo Charles. Okay, and that was
Charles.
a legendary discovery and my highest viewed game review of over 2,000 views. Oh
That's
man.
crazy. Choo Choo Charles.
Yep, Choo Choo Charles. I wonder what I'm going to learn about this year.
Oh man. Yeah, I mean, I think for me, like, Devolver is pretty interesting. I think we'll see. I want to learn more about the Plucky Squire. I think that game looks really cool and really interesting.
Oh, and
Yeah.
Wait, Go ahead,
speaking of
Steph.
Devolver, can anyone explain to me? Hold on, I follow Devolver's like notifications. Everyone is tweeting out this weird, funky looking creature on the
Oh, the
Devolver.
little like isn't
What
that
the
like
heck is that? Dr.
I don't know.
Volvi? Who's Dr. Volvi?
Yeah, I don't know. Look
Oh,
him up. Let's read it out.
I just think it's like sounds like vulva, and I don't know. What? They should have named it like that. See, when I look up Dr. Volvi, it gets Dr. Vulva. Okay, like I don't know.
You and your device have a dirty mind.
Dr. Volvi's game. It doesn't even pull up anything. A doctor's guide to complete vulvovaginal health. Nope.
All right. Well,
I'll have to get back to you on that.
Not that kind of show.
Listen,
Yeah.
I'm just trying to find out about this dang game, okay? It's not my fault Google's not cooperating.
I thought you had a direct line to Devolver. Like you should be able to get this right from the source, Stephanie.
Yeah, we'll just email JM and see
What's up with this vulva guy, vulva thing.
Yeah. I bet he voices him.
Maybe.
Okay, so
anyway,
you know what? Let me just go ahead and start this off first. I don't. This is that time of year where where as gamers we get ourselves in trouble because we see all this stuff, and some of the stuff winds up not coming out for 3-4 years, and there's and then we kind of do it to ourselves. So going into this expo season, especially knowing that like E3 like dropped the ball so hard they dropped themselves right off the map and stuff like that, I'm not going to be super hype. But then again, I probably wasn't super hyped last year or the year before. So yeah, that's typically my thing now. Now I do wind up spending most of the day watching the events and stuff like that, and I do see some things that like do get my attention and stuff like that. But there are things that I'm looking for, and I hardly ever see them. I'm pretty sure we're probably going to see some stuff that I want to see particularly. I'm pretty sure we'll see Tekken 8. Like we'll see that somewhere. I'm not sure where to be at, but I'm sure we'll see that.
I bet you
Um,
there'd be the Summer Games Fest one with Keeley.
Are you
yeah,
well? Would they put 2 fighting games there? Because Mortal Kombat just announced they were going to be there.
Oh,
I,
they
I
That'd
mean,
be
will.
I
good
guess.
too.
They
Yeah,
will.
I guess they could. I guess.
Why wouldn't they? I mean, like
I don't
shoot,
know,
like
man. I don't run these
yeah.
companies.
But also, I don't know. Like, maybe this is going to be very hard for someone who is a contributor to a gaming podcast, who runs his own gaming podcast show, who is a contributor to the writing side of the Boss Rush family. Even though I haven't like written a single article in months, um, I feel like I don't really have my finger on the pulse of gaming anymore.
I know.
Like everyone trots out all these names of games and stuff, and I'm like, what is this? Like stuff that I've never even heard of and stuff like that. I'm like, how are you keeping track of all this stuff? Like I can barely keep track of like the hardcore mainstream titles like Kojima's next project, and what else? Stuff that's happening from shit. Should I say Bethesda? Because Bethesda's in a bit of a mess right now. Microsoft
Um,
too. If we're keeping score. Like
yeah, I
I'm
mean,
just
we'll
having.
find out. I mean, by the time this comes out for everybody, like everybody will know what Microsoft is doing, right? But like, you know,
I thought we knew what
it's
Microsoft was doing last year when they had that showcase that showed like a 2-year roadmap of stuff that was basically a Game Pass expo.
I mean, most of those games came out. There are 14 games that haven't come out, and only one of them is first party. So,
Yeah,
I mean, and that's obviously Starfield. But I think
which rumor mill has it that's getting delayed.
Nah,
I mean,
they got
I
it
don't.
direct. That means it's coming out this year.
Yeah, they're doing. Yeah, I mean, I think
Oh,
Xbox is
I
the
don't think
most.
they'll push it. I don't think they'll push it outside of this year. I'm just hearing it's going to get further delayed into this year.
Thought. All right, so I think Xbox for me is the most interesting because they have so many things announced and they have so many things that we could potentially see, right? Like Fable, Perfect
mhm.
Dark, maybe Gears, obviously something from Machine Games, either Wolfenstein 3 or Indiana Jones, whatever id's working on, rumors, Quake instead of Doom 3. Um,
Didn't Fable recently celebrate an anniversary?
mhm. It's the
Yeah.
15th anniversary next year. Well, they are lining up Fable to, or maybe it's the 20th anniversary. Oh no. Next year. It's the 20th anniversary of Fable. Oh no. Oh no.
Well, they have to do something with that, especially after that teaser they did. Like that
Yeah.
that has to be a Fable teaser.
Yeah, and the thing is like they have something like 28 projects announced that haven't released yet
Wow.
in terms of Microsoft Game Studios. Like Hellblade 2 is like the one
Yeah.
that I have circled. I'm hoping the coalition will be there with Gears in some capacity. My thought is that they're going to release the Gears collection and then at the end announce that they're working on Gear 6 with just like a logo. Uh that's my prediction, and then like 2 years from now they'll show it off and it'll be out and whatever. But I just there's so many interesting and exciting. Double Fine's new IP is supposedly going to be there. Project Midnight from Compulsion is supposedly going to be there, which looks like the concept art that leaked looks really awesome. Uh,
Can we get another Battletoads game? I really want another
Mm.
Battletoads game.
no,
I
Um,
loved that new Battletoads game.
but speaking of Rare, Killer Instinct is supposedly going to be there, but Bandai Namco is developing it and not Rare, so it'll be kind of like a Tekken comparison to that. So
Dude, I would
exciting.
love that.
Yeah. Also, a kid-friendly franchise is rumored to show up. I'm hoping it's Banjo.
Battletoads?
No, I think I I hope Banjo is there. The rumor is that Everwild has turned more into something like Viva Pinata than some sort of open world
I was
RPG
just about
that
to
they
say
play in.
Viva Pinata.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I thought they scrapped Everwild.
they didn't. They confirmed today they're still working on it.
Okay, then they completely went from square one again.
Half that team left, and they had to like really restructure that team. And then, I mean, obviously, Sea of Thieves is what it is, though. Um, I want to see what this roadmap looks like now because, like, as much as important as Starfield is to Xbox, I don't care about Bethesda games, right? Like, I want to, and maybe I'll give Starfield a try. The last like real Bethesda game I played any sort of time with was Fallout New Vegas. Well, technically Obsidian, I guess, but that era of Bethesda games. So, and maybe since Breath of the Wild came out and my thought on open world games has changed in the way that you explore worlds has changed, maybe I would care more about Starfield than I think I do. But that roadmap just needs fleshed out, man. I'm really curious to see how specifically Playground is tackling Fable because that's a Forza studio, that's a driving studio, and they're making an open world RPG. Like that's a tall task.
I will say though, Horizon, the Horizon series, not Fable Horizon, the Forza Horizon series, those open worlds are pretty detailed. I think
Yeah.
they could do some amazing things with that engine in Fable.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's not the world that I'm worried about. It's the gameplay and because I mean the writing's not exactly stellar in Forza Horizon, right? I mean with the Horizon events and stuff.
I called my character's name Potato.
Yeah.
Potato. That's how they said it.
I hope they call me a chicken chaser again. That's all I want. Fable, man, Fable 2 is top tier. If you haven't played Fable 2, oh, so good. Fable 2 is so good. So yeah, and then I wonder if Halo is going to show up in some capacity because Project Tatanka has been rumored with certain affinity, which is like the updated version of their multiplayer that's adding battle royale and some sort of extraction shooter similar to what Marathon's going to be. They have a lot to update people on, right?
I was gonna say oh, go ahead. Sorry, finish your thought.
I was just gonna say it's time. It's time, right? I mean, they've been turning the ship around for almost a decade now, right? I would circle 2019 when Sea of Thieves, or maybe even before that, like 2017, I guess, when Game Pass launched, right? Like they've been turning the ship around since then, acquiring studios since then, so many projects in the works, like showing off a game with the launch of the console that's not out yet, right? That's kind of a big deal. It's time, I'm tired of these little like, okay, yeah, Psychonauts, woohoo, Pentiment, woohoo, Grounded, great. These are great filler games. These are great catalog fillers, great Game Pass kind of things. But like, where's Gears? Where's Perfect Dark? Where's Fable? It's time. So
I agree.
Go ahead.
I wholeheartedly agree. Like, I mean, like we need to see the stuff the stuff from Microsoft that built Microsoft. Well,
Yeah.
built Xbox. I'm sorry. Yeah, there we go.
Well, I mean, you're going to see that season 4. Well, they kind of announced the season 4 stuff for Halo already. It seems to be getting back on the right track because, I mean, they kind of gutted that studio and restructured that studio. The next Halo, they're scrapping the Slip Space engine and preference for Unreal for the next game, which I don't know if 343 is going to be like developing it in-house or kind of shepherding it with another studio. But they have a lot of, between Unreal and id Tech, like they have some pretty major tech that they're using, I think. But Halo needs that. I bet you see like that whole update stream of like Sea of Thieves has an update, Grounded has an update, Halo will have an update. Like all their kind of games as a service style games will be updated in some sort of format. I hope they do that in the pre-show though, because like, come on. And Aaron Greenberg also came out and said that they will not show any fully CG trailers in their showcase from first party. They're going to be
Yeah, I
either
heard that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
they're either going to be in engine overviews or gameplay, which is exciting. Oh, the other game, State of Decay 3, is another game that they showed and haven't you know, shown anything on. So I don't know. It's time.
I was gonna say,
And
isn't it kind of like because E3 is like not really a thing anymore? Isn't this the time where these publishers need to kind of start showing what's coming out for the second half of the year? Because I know for us, we're due, for
Mhm.
example, our what do you call it? Our draft thing.
Mhm.
And I know we have a couple of titles we know that are coming out the second half of 2023, but
Yeah.
I think it's time to fill that out.
Yeah. I wonder Pat wasn't here for the draft, so I wonder if he should be the commissioner.
Mm.
What's up?
we did we did a Metacritic draft at the beginning of the year, and at the end of the year the winner gets a prize. And then halfway through the year, when all these conferences happen, we were allowed to do a second, like a supplemental draft of
Okay.
games. So
Okay.
yeah, I had a thought, but I lost it. So I feel like Xbox, like when the Series X launched, right? Like it was on such like a path changing trajectory for them, and then that year with like Fable, or not Fable, with Psychonauts and Forza Horizon and Halo Infinite launching and Flight Simulator, right? They had all these
Yeah.
amazing games, right? And it got people excited for Xbox again. And then the next year, they just totally like shit the bed, and like it got people were not excited about Xbox anymore, and that makes me really, as a fan of Xbox, I am sad to see the console go through something like that. Then you see PlayStation launch stuff that people love, like God of War, Horizon, like these big huge AAA titles that people love, and then Spider-Man's coming out, and
Yep.
they're making the third party deals with Square for Final Fantasy and Forspoken, which still a major title depending on how you feel about it or not, right? Like I don't have an opinion, I haven't played it yet, but and even getting these smaller titles like Kena, which was rated for Xbox, by the way, Kena Bridge of Spirits, so I'm hoping that shows up at the showcase in some capacity. And it just kind of like, I feel like there are so many things that Xbox could be doing, and now like with the Activision Blizzard stuff, kind of they're tripping over that a little bit, even though they are cleared to close the deal. It was reported, so I wonder if that'll be announced at the showcase or something, right? And the Redfall situation. I mean, I feel like everybody forgot about Hi-Fi Rush like 2 weeks after it came out, and that game was really good.
Really
Like
good.
that
Yeah.
game was really good.
Mhm.
And plus like they just can't stop tripping over themselves. And now that Sony kind of, for better or worse, had that showcase, and nobody really cared, like PlayStation fans didn't really care about it. Like they've been
You know
given,
what? By the
they've
way, that was not a bad showcase. It wasn't.
No, it wasn't
Um,
a bad showcase. It was a bad showcase for PlayStation exclusive first party, or for single player first party exclusives that people were expecting, because Sony doesn't have a roadmap after Spider-Man either, right? Like that's the thing, and they don't
well,
have anything announced to get people
well,
excited.
according to Sony, like there's another showcase coming.
I was
So
gonna
Yeah.
say I
apparently,
heard that they were holding
No.
back a little bit, right?
apparently
Yeah.
they're gonna give the bitches what they want.
Well, here
You
the
mean
thing
gameplay
is
footage?
the
What?
Gameplay footage?
uh
You know,
Because that
you
was
know,
my
yeah,
biggest gripe, was like 2/3 of that whole showcase was just CG.
mhm.
yeah,
Well,
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
my
That's where the whole like Barb came from the Microsoft exec.
Yeah.
Which I thought was funny. But I don't know, like
My
I'm
theory
not
for
going to
Sony.
defend. I'm not going to defend that PlayStation showcase whatsoever. I don't think. I don't feel like it was a bad showcase. I don't feel like it was a particularly good showcase. But I did say something to Andre when he and I talked about it, and I said, you know what? It sounds like Sony did pulled something from Nintendo's playbook because Nintendo doesn't show shit until they're ready to like deliver,
Mhm.
and I think
Yeah.
Sony did that this time.
Yeah, and my thing too is like I bet Spider-Man this showcase is going to be positioned between Paris Games Week, which is something that Sony always goes to, and Gamescom, right? I think they're kind of focused on Europe because that's where the PlayStation brand is based at this point. And I think they want to show up there. I think they want to get Spider-Man out and then just have no distractions of upcoming games, and they're just going to blow the door off of everything, right? They're going to show Uncharted. They're going to show Wolverine. They're going to show Ghost of Tsushima 2, I'm assuming. They're going to show Death Stranding 2 off in a more distinctive way. Uh, I think Sony has a lot to show, but at this point, at this point in the timeline, right? Sony has left the door open for Microsoft to just, you know, kick them while they're down a little bit. And I'm not saying like, you know, they could, I mean, they could show off Wolverine and Uncharted, and I think the, you know, gaming internet will praise them 100 times over. And every game Microsoft could show this weekend could be a 10 out of 10 when it comes out, right? But I think Sony has, Microsoft hasn't earned the I can wait for the next thing because they haven't put anything out that people respect, right? And the last thing they put out that was, you know, quote unquote 10 out of 10 AAA. I mean, the last thing they put out that had a 9 or a 10 was like Halo, right? And when it came out, and, you know, we saw that roadmap kind of fumble, and then now nobody cares about Halo. It's like it's not even it's below PUBG on the most played games on Xbox right now. So I mean, you know, tell me when the last time you really cared about PUBG was. And so I Xbox has a hill to climb, but Sony kind of pushed them a little bit with this showcase. Now, granted, in the fall when Sony has their next showcase, they could totally just kick Microsoft down the other side of the hill, right? But like right now, the floor is Microsoft's at this point. So I don't know. I'm really excited to see Fable and Hellblade.
Yeah. Microsoft, please don't shoot yourselves in the foot. Please
Yeah.
don't, because you
And I hate this.
You stepped on the rake in both directions already. I feel like you know, like you accidentally shot yourself in the nuts of your own slingshot. You know, at least once. You know, come on,
Yeah.
Microsoft.
I just, I just want so bad to be like, man, I'm excited to like turn on my Xbox, go into Game Pass, and see a new first party game there. That I'm like, yes, I want to play this. Not like, oh, Pentiment, that's cute. Let's play through that, right? Like,
Yeah.
Pentiment's not selling consoles, right? Grounded is not selling any consoles. You know, I would even argue that Forza doesn't really sell consoles, right? Like especially Forza Horizon. I think the console seller for the hardcore racing people would be Forza Motorsport, and even then they're probably playing on PC and like this giant uh, hydraulic racing box, you know. So I don't know. It's getting really excited and scared at the same time.
Yeah,
Oh well,
That's
at
why
least
you gotta go in with no expectations whatsoever. That way
Destiny
you'll
and
be
Marathon are
pleasantly
coming.
surprised.
Oh.
not to kind of be one track minded, but do you think Nintendo will kind of do, I think, what they did last year, where they announced a direct, like kind of almost at the very end of like the whole
Mhm.
Summer Games Fest kind of shebang?
Yeah, mine and Ed's theory was like the year of the pandemic. Remember when they just released like a couple trailers and then a couple game specific directs until September when they had that big blowout one. That's what Ed and I were kind of talking about this weekend was they'll probably do like a Pikmin specific direct.
Yeah.
They'll probably do some sort of third party kind of partner showcase thing. and they'll probably have another indie world, and maybe they drop something like that. There's a massive rumor going around right now that Paper Mario and the Thousand Year Door is getting a remaster. Like they could do what they did with Origami King and drop a trailer and it would be out in 3 months, something like that. But Nintendo doesn't have a roadmap either. I mean,
Well, that's kind of why I say it. I'm like, granted, they have Tears of the Kingdom to probably carry the torch sales and success wise, but as far as if you look at roadmap, it's like, well, we really have Pikmin. Excuse me?
Nintendo literally dropped a AAA title every month this year. So
Oh yeah, no
Yeah.
I feel
complaint.
like
I just
they're running out of things to give at the
Yeah.
moment.
yeah,
Mm.
and I think I think their next console is coming up, and I know they wanted the Switch to be a 10-year console, but I think they want to get their next console out sooner than later. My guess is still spring 2025, but it might be sooner than that just because of the security issues they're having with people ripping the games and throwing them online, and people are playing Tears of the Kingdom at 60 frames a second with ray tracing and 4K already, right? So
oh man,
uh,
that just sounds awesome.
I know. I Gathalion posted some stuff online the other day, and I was like, oh my gosh, this. And then now I'm playing on this on my Switch. I'm like, I would rather be playing this, but I'm not doing it illegally, so because I'm scared.
Nintendo will come after you.
They'll
I know.
send their army of Pikmin after you.
Yeah, they'll carry me to Yoshi, and he'll eat me and pop me on a giant egg, and I'll live there forever.
Oh no.
But yeah, I think Nintendo has a big question mark too. And my theory was that like Tears of the Kingdom is kind of like maybe their last like major title aside from Metroid Prime 4 at some point in the future.
Metroid Prime 4 is not coming to Switch. It's not coming to Switch.
I think it is. But I think they have a lot of filler games and ports that they could move over. They still have a ton of Wii U games that never came over. They still have Wii and GameCube games that could be remastered. And I'm thinking the next year and a half will be that with a couple, maybe some Kirby's in there, maybe another Yoshi game.
I hope the fuck not.
We gotta get a Donkey Kong game.
Here's the thing. The rumor is that the Odyssey team is working on a 3D Donkey Kong game.
I've heard
But
that
game
too.
But that game is not launched. Is going to launch with the next console. That's my opinion.
Okay.
It'll either come out
this. Mario game would launch finally with the console. That would be my guess.
It'll either Donkey Kong either launch this year at holiday or it'll launch with the next console. That's my opinion.
I'm going with Donkey Kong this year. Mario console launch.
Yeah. So we'll see.
Yeah, but until then, I just hope we see a lot of great things for the next couple of days. So I honestly, go ahead.
I just want the audience to pay attention that LeRon did not talk any shit about Nintendo this segment.
Yeah,
you
but
always
if you look
point
at
that out.
Your face was filled with judgment.
Yeah. What are you talking? No, it was not.
Sadness.
Disdain.
So, yeah.
I said the one thing I said. I don't think we're getting Metroid Prime 4 for the Switch. We're going to get the remakes or remasters or whatever of 2 and 3. And Nintendo's going to be like, y'all better suck on this teat.
I think 2 and 3 are coming out as a package for $60 this fall. That's my opinion.
Oh, you know what? I almost want to bet you money on that one because like no one anticipated Metroid Prime 1.
Well, the rumor is that they've all been done for a long time, and Nintendo was just waiting for a kind of a place to put them. Same with the Zelda rumors, right? Like those games have been ported and done for a while. They're just waiting for that window. And I still think both those other games are coming out next year.
I think next year, opinion.
Yeah. So we'll get one in the spring and one in the fall. I think Wind Waker will come out in the spring, and then maybe towards like July, August will be Twilight Princess.
Yeah, all I gotta say is they need to milk it. They need to milk it best they can.
Yeah, and then like that Star Fox Grand Prix rumor has been floating around too. Has been kind of hanging out for a couple years now too. Uh,
Who started that rumor? Did fans start that rumor, or did we actually
no,
see something?
it was on some sort of Nintendo call sheet for some conference. I want to say E3, and
As
every
long
game and everybody thought that list was fake, and everything on that list came out except for that, and that was Retro's game. What and a lot of people think it didn't come out because they wouldn't have time to finish it because their project was transitioned. Metroid Prime 4 was transitioned to them, right, that year. And so that's a lot of people think that game wasn't finished, and that's why they didn't show it. But it's been 3 years. So I wonder if a small team at Retro split off to do that. So it's so crazy. Retro hasn't released a game in 10 years. The last game they've released was the Donkey Kong game on Wii U.
Which
Well,
they re-released on the Switch. So if you include that, then yeah, 5 years.
I mean, I know they helped on Mario Kart 7 and 8, but like they're way more than a support studio. Like they need to, I don't know, man. Anyways.
So I'm hoping for Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth. With all these like Twitter posts that they've been posting, you know, I'm expecting we're gonna see a trailer, and I'm gonna say we're gonna see it tomorrow at the games.
Fest.
Yep.
Yeah, you know, it's funny you mentioned that, Pat, because Lamont is writing a Boss Rush banter that has to do kind of with this series with what they've been posting. So it makes sense to me.
Yeah. They've already posted now 6, which makes me think that, you know, it's like a new one every single day. Leading up to the 7th tomorrow, which is the trailer drop.
Yeah. The rumor is that
wait. I'm confused. Today's the 7th.
No, the 7th post.
Oh.
Not the 7th. not. So
I was literally thinking the day.
The rumor is that the first game is actually finally coming to Xbox, and they're going to show it off at the showcase with the Persona 3 remake and the Yakuza 8 thing is kind of what's going on right now.
Yakuza 8 will be on the Summit show, the Ryugo Goken show.
Yeah. You saw the last trailer for Final Fantasy 16 though, right? 6-month exclusive to PlayStation.
Yeah. And then it comes the PC.
So it's like, man,
come on! You guys really think that this bedroom relationship that Sony and Square Enix has is going to end anytime soon?
I want it to.
I know you want it to, but I'm just saying, like the mainstream Final Fantasy games have not been coming to consoles outside of Sony for a hot minute. Like, I mean, shit. Like there was a chance for did Forspoken come? No, Forspoken was also an exclusive, which is weird.
It's a 1 year exclusive.
Oh, there we go. There is a 1 year exclusive because we thought Final Fantasy 7 Remake was going to be a 1 year exclusive, and 14 months later it came to PC. There was no announcement for Xbox.
I know. It's a pretty big problem that Xbox has with Square Enix specifically.
I think the major problem is because Final Fantasy 13 did not sell so well on what was it, Xbox One or 360? I can't remember which console that was. It was 360. Yeah, I think that was the problem. Like, it didn't sell well in Microsoft's ecosystem, so they didn't want to take the chance outside of PC, and they barely want to do PC.
Yeah, I still think Sony's going to buy Square Enix at some point, and they're
before they buy CD Projekt Red. I still want to know where that rumor came from.
Yeah,
I still want to know where that
if Sony did attempt to get CD Projekt Red, I will hope and curse that they get the exact same treatment that Microsoft got for Activision, because CD Projekt Red is the equivalent of European Steam.
Yeah.
Is that true?
GOG.
It is.
They own GOG.
Huge. It is bigger.
They own GOG. Oh, yeah. I did not know they own GOG. I did not know that.
Yeah. Yeah, well, CD Projekt is like the umbrella company. CD Projekt Red is the developer, and CD
Oh,
Projekt Blue is the side that runs GOG.
the more you
That
know.
explains everything because I want to say at least twice a year you can get The Witcher 3 for free off of GOG if you don't already have it.
Yeah.
It explains it now.
hmm So
Yeah.
yeah, it's funny because CD Projekt Red tweeted out, "We're not for sale." That was like their tweet after that
Yeah.
rumor started.
I would love to know how that rumor started. People are saying it's because Sony fanboys were so pissed off about the showcase.
Yeah. I mean, look,
I'm like, that's the most out
look,
your ass thing. Like, shit, y'all should just went back to Sony's buying Konami. Y'all should have went back to that shit.
look. My only thing to Sony fans is, look, now you got a little taste of what Xbox fans have been feeling for like
Mm-hmm.
15 years at this point.
Well, I mean, I don't understand. I don't understand gamers sometimes because they know these things. They know these things have ebbs and flows. Like, look at
No,
the
they
PS3.
don't. Have you read Twitter? No, they don't.
Look at the PS3 compared to the Xbox 360. Wait, PS3, Xbox 360.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
then to the Xbox One, the PS4. Like, like
Yeah.
it's always a push me pull you situation, and I don't understand why gamers don't realize that. Everybody's favorite console has these moments. Even Nintendo has these moments because I mean, like, shit,
Yeah.
people
Did
are
you play
pissed
the
off.
Wii U?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, like, even though like the Switch is like Nintendo's like all time champion, right? Has it outsold the Wii yet? It has, right?
It's
Yeah.
it's
Yeah,
approaching
It's
the
outsold
DS.
the Wii. It's getting ready. It's outsold the Wii. It's
Nintendo DS is still
It's in
the
third place.
breadwinner.
It's in third place behind PS2 and DS.
There we go. Yeah. Okay. I had to be sure. And yeah, it's like every company has their folly, and like
Mhm.
people once people realize that shit, it's easier to temper expectations on this stuff. This I guess this is why everybody's always like like they get so hyped for a Nintendo Direct and then they're so pissed off about it, and I'm just like that was it, and then like when I'm supposed to be not impressed with Direct, I'm like, oh, this is the best Direct I've ever fucking seen. Thank you, that last fucking Direct they had. I mean, shit,
Yeah.
I'm satisfied.
Yeah. I mean, I think I really think Nintendo is like really winding down the Switch stuff. I think we're gonna see I think we're gonna start seeing a lot of ports and HD remasters, and with the occasional
Kind
like,
of filler stuff.
yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So that's my opinion. So I'm excited to see what they do next, though. Like I think we were talking the other day where like Nintendo, this isn't Iwata Nintendo anymore, right? I think Furukawa's in his kind of administration are very conservative, and they're going to stick with what works. And I really think the next console is going to be the same thing, just more powerful.
Yeah, just like and I'm not trying to downplay it, but like they're not going to try and be gimmicky, so to speak.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and they're using, according to certain people, they're using the same type of tech to build this console. They're using an upgraded version of the NVIDIA chip that's in there already. So I'm leaning towards it's going to be a Switch. I think it's going to be backwards compatible.
I hope so.
We shall see.
I know.
We
If it's
want
not,
it.
I mean, that's
We
the
want
only
it to
reason.
be backwards compatible.
That's the only reason why I
we-
own physical games for the Switch right now, is because it's not backwards. I don't know if it's going to be backwards compatible or not.
You know what? I'm just gonna go ahead and say it, and you can, and like, Corey, you can go ahead and, like, if you want to get ready to like censor like this, what I'm about to say,
I
whatever.
don't care.
But I'm probably gonna buy myself a second Nintendo Switch and do the thing that I always do to my portable consoles because I don't trust this yet.
Yeah. Well, when that happens, I'm going to send you my launch Switch to do that too. Because, yeah, same.
Yeah, I don't trust this. As a matter of fact, the source that, if it's the same source that you read, that I read, like, it came from VGC.com, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like I'm leaning towards what that source said versus what everybody else is trying to say.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know, and this is this is crazy because this would be a first for Nintendo not to have something backwards compatible. That even though it's technically like upgraded hardware, it wouldn't make any sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So
Maybe it's because they shot themselves in the foot with this proprietary, like the cartridge for the Switch. Like they kind of shot themselves in the foot with that one.
well, my theory is that they're gonna have it's gonna be a DS to 3DS situation where like it's gonna be the same type of cartridge, but certain cartridges, and it's also gonna be like a Game Boy to Game Boy Color situation where like certain games will work on both, certain games will only work on the new hardware, right? And that's where I'm at with that in terms of physical games. It's the digital stuff that I'm concerned about because I have a ton of digital Switch games, whether I bought them on sale or just bought them because, or, we get codes sometimes. Like it's,
If you're going your DS to 3DS route, you shouldn't be too concerned because those ported over.
yeah. I mean, that's what I'm saying in terms of physical games. I'm talking about digital stuff.
No, the digital stuff ported over too.
Yeah, but like the I'm talking about like it totally the store totally shutting down at some point and not having access. Although you still have access to those things a little bit for a little bit of time, but yeah, I don't know. So, all right, we're gonna call it there. I want to thank everybody for watching and or listening to this episode of the Boss Rush Podcast. You can find all of our content on bossrush.net. You can follow us on Twitter at Boss Rush Network. Subscribe to YouTube. Go to our Patreon for as little as $1. You get all of our podcasts, early access, and episodes early of things, audio episodes of YouTube stuff. And go there. Do it. Subscribe.
You said go there. Do it.
Yep, that's what I said. Do it. I want to thank everybody for watching and or listening. Until next time, we love you. Goodbye.
Bye.
So long.
Meow meow. The Boss Rush Podcast is a product of Boss Rush Media LLC and is recorded from our headquarters in Akron, Ohio. This show is produced, written, and directed by me, Corey Deering. My co-hosts are Stephanie Klimov, LeRon Dawkins, and Edward Varnell. You can find Stephanie at Klimov_author on Twitter and Instagram, as well as on the EXPcast. You can find LeRon at Exodus803 on Twitter, Instagram, Twitch, and YouTube, and also on Crossroads, the video game podcast. You can find Edward at ThatRetroCode on Twitter and Instagram, as well as hosting Nintendo Power Block. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at IamCoreyInHD, and find me hosting Tower Casuals, the Destiny podcast, and co-hosting Nintendo Power Block. Find the Boss Rush Podcast on all social media platforms at Boss Rush Podcast. You can also follow Boss Rush Media and Boss Rush Network on all major social media platforms. Join the Boss Rush Network Discord and Facebook groups to interact with other friends and fans. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time.